We're doing obviously a little something different today. I'm outside, beautiful weather. Got the old boonie hat on, Marine Corps. Even though I didn't serve, still got to support. Got the shaded safety glasses in the event I need them. But what you guys are probably all here to see is where's the button? There it is. It's this guy. So this is my John Deere 110 garden tractor from 1966. She is in pretty good shape, not perfect, but I mean, what do you expect for something this old? Definitely need a new seat cover. Seat pan's rusty, but still good. I will at some point take care of that, probably get the wire wheel out and wire wheel all that rust off there and then repaint it. I do have plenty of paint. Got my John Deere green and yellow paint down here. The white caps are actually Rust-Oleum primer, so I could potentially just go right over the top of that rust. I also, for another project, have some hammered look Rust-Oleum bronze paint. That's for repainting something else. There's the mower I'm using now. There's the deck for this thing, which will hopefully be the mower I'm using in the future. The deck, whoops, let's walk around to the other side of that. We don't want my big old shadow in there. The deck is, I mean, obviously I've got it flipped over right now. It's in fairly good condition, except for right back here. You can see there's a damaged piece of metal there, and then there's some chunks missing here, and a really crappy repair job there. But whatever. I have a buddy who knows how to weld. He can fix that up for me. No problem. And then all the rust will get taken care of, just like everything else, and repainted. So she will be good to go. Well, she'll need greased. I did check that already. This is old enough that the mower deck does not have sealed bearings, and so it does need greased. I kind of expected that going into it. Tires all around, good shape. Motor is in good shape. That's actually why you guys are here today, I'm sure. Yes, the fiberglass hood, the only piece of fiberglass on the whole tractor, has a nice bit of damage right here. This stripe and this lighter colored John Deere paint are because I painted a bar that's on the back here while it was laying on the hood and purposefully oversprayed to fill in that damaged spot. So back here, this bracket is the one that I didn't get with the tractor for mounting the rototiller. So I had to order this, and I got it. It's from a third-party company called Hapco. They make parts for this old stuff. This is just a piece of steel, hardened steel rod that I got from a local welding supply shop. The paint that I put on it did get scraped off because this hole is very, very tight on this side. So I'll just have to, I'm going to leave it in there permanently, so I'll just spray a little paint on it and let the paint weld them together. But a video of firing this bad boy up is probably why you guys are here. Now, if you're on my Discord, we have a little issue that you are probably already aware of. The motor smokes to beat all. And I'm going to show you guys that and then show you what I found in regards to it. So, throttle up to about half, choke all the way, clutch in, transmission's in neutral, and she lights right off. but smokes like a chimney. So starts really good, runs really good, but smokes to beat all. Well, why is that? So I got to looking into it, going through all the things in my head before I even had a chance to tear into it at all. Cylinder could be worn out and needs an oversized piston and ring set put in it. That'll make it burn oil and smoke like that. It's definitely burning oil. We can actually see that here. I don't know how well it's showing up for the camera. Focus there, please. There we go. I said focus there. That is really damp with blackness in there. That is oil. Here we go. I got a solution to this. We'll walk over here to my little jury-rigged workbench. And out of my trash bag here, yes, that's the little trailer I got for this tractor. But we'll grab out of the old trash bag just a nasty old blue towel here. And if we wipe the inside of this, you'll see it really clearly. I mean, that is black. That is definitely burning oil. So there's a few things that I know of, and I'm no expert. There's a few things that I know of that can cause it to burn oil like that. One of them is what I was talking about, where the cylinder's worn out and it needs an oversized piston and ring set. Another one is that the rings are frozen to the piston and not expanding against the cylinder wall. Both of those would require engine disassembly and rebuilding, right? However, there's one other really common thing. Over full oil. Let's step out here in the sunlight. Maybe you guys can see that a little better. Maybe not. That oil is most of the way up the dipstick after wiping and reseating. It's right here, right there by the numbers is where it'll come up to, just under those numbers. So that is about double the oil this thing should have. And there's two reasons why it's over full. It must have been over full when I got it, and I put 2 ounces of Marvel Mystery oil down the plug hole before running it, so that if those piston rings were seized, the mystery oil could potentially soak them and get them to free up. It works sometimes, doesn't always work. So what I'm going to do to take care of this problem is, of course, change the oil. And after that, we should really be good to go to start using it, assuming that it stops smoking. If it doesn't stop smoking, I'm going to have to tear the engine apart, at least take the cylinder head off and check into that. I'm really hoping it doesn't need a rebuild because I don't want to wait for parts. That company that I was talking about, Hapco, that I got this bracket back here from, they do have rebuild kits for these motors in original. Yes, Richard, it definitely needs a power washing also. It's covered in grease and oil and everything. But Hapco offers rebuild kits for these in the original standard cylinder size, standard piston size and rings, 10 thou over, 20 thou over, and 30 thou over. So unless the cylinder is really worn out, I can get a rebuild kit for it. But I don't want to wait 3 weeks for it to come in. I haven't even cut the grass in my backyard. I mean, this backyard is a disaster because this whole area back here is what's going to get tilled up. It's a 4-stroke. But yeah, these small bits of tree here are going to come out of there. I'm going to cut them up with the chainsaw and add them to the wood pile behind the shed here. And you can see all my seedlings over here sitting on that piece of cement. But this whole area back here, from the edge of the cement along the edge of my yard, which is right about where the tree stump is and whatnot, to almost to the back fence back here, which is the neighbor's fence, and then all out here. It's shaded right now because of this tree and the trees behind me, the sun's going down, but for most of the day, it gets really good sunlight here, and the garden will thrive. I mean, look how thick this grass is. Even compared to other parts of the backyard, this grass is gorgeous. It's really tall, really thick. So it's a good spot for the garden to go in. But got to get this tractor going. Got to get that rototiller on it. So I'm going to fire it up for you guys one more time since a few more people have joined. Oh. And so throttle up about half, choke about half since we've already started it. Nope, a little more choke. Choke is all the way down. Again, choke all the way down. So for those who missed it because you joined a little bit late, the reason that she's smoking to beat all and burning so much oil is because it's over full. It's not a mixture issue. It's, at least I don't think it is. It could be a mixture issue involved also, but the oil is filled to about double what should be in it. And I do need to do an oil change on it anyway. So that's going to be the first thing that I do. I'm not going to keep you guys on the stream for that. I've already had the oil filter or air filter open, Richard, and it was a little bit dusty. I blew it out with the air compressor there. Air filter's good to go. Oil's pretty dark. You can see it's up to those numbers, about halfway up the stick there. That's way overfilled. I know it doesn't probably look that dark on camera, but trust me, it's dark. It did get lightened up when I put a little bit of Marlboro mustard oil down the plug hole, and that's part of why it's overfilled. But I didn't put that much mustard oil in there. I only put about 2 ounces in there, and that's like 2 quarts of oil. So now that I've showed you guys the tractor and what she's doing, what I think is the problem, I am going to end this stream and get busy doing the work of changing the oil and doing some other little tune-up things. I'm going to pull the plug again because I'm sure with it burning that much oil, that plug is really fouled. I know it was the first time that I took it out. Exactly, Richard. Exactly. There's lots of bad things that you can have happen with it being that overfilled. I did not overfill it. It was that way when I got it. But I'm good to go. I was not planning on getting Rotella for this, but it's all that's available locally right now. And it was only a dollar more a quart over the O'Reilly's automotive store brand. So, whatever. For those who are wondering what this is, that is 2-cycle mixed gas oil, mixed 50 to 1. It's what I run my chainsaw and my weed whacker there. Because everything was so fouled and so full of oil inside that cylinder, to actually get it started one time, I had to dribble a little vat down the plug hole. And once she fired off, she started running on her own gas, but it was like sludge in there. But keeping a little bottle of that to pour down plug holes and get equipment started when you're working on equipment is a really good way to diagnose things like plugged up carburetors. I'm looking at you, red mower. Plugged up carburetor, which I've already taken care of, but it also doesn't have spark. So I'm SOL on that at the moment until I tear it apart and figure out why it doesn't have spark. 1, 2, somewhere there's a third generator. That's what's going down their plug holes when I start working on them. So I've got lots of projects to do this summer, and this is why you guys aren't seeing a whole lot of gaming content for me. There's the old John Deere chainsaw I'm getting running too. That's not my primary chainsaw. My primary chainsaw is a Husqvarna. This is a John Deere that I picked up for $50, not seized. It did turn over when I bought it. However, it had a screwed up pull cord, and I've got the rewind for the pull cord. Here, move that out of the way. Rewind for the pull cord and the side cover of it right there. Winding that back up is a pain in the butt. But the reason that it was a problem and why I had to take the whole thing out, it was all gunked with oil and sawdust. I mean, that whole metal band that forms the spring was covered in oil and sawdust and just sticking to itself. It was a disaster, disgusting. Take better care of your chainsaws, people. Damn it. So here's our rototiller for the tractor, though. The tiller appears to be complete. This piece right here is what goes onto that bracket that I had to buy, and these little slots in it are what slide down over the oh, come on, brain work, that steel rod that's in the bottom of the bracket. Those just slide over the steel rod, and then these bolts, which I'm going to replace, go through the holes to actually hold it on. And yeah, let's not get into this jerry-rigged disaster. The correct parts to fix this part are on order. Unfortunately, they are a couple of weeks out yet because they're being manufactured. They were out of stock. It does have some grease certs on it that I need to put some grease in. But the old grease gun's hanging right there, so we're good to go. It's, still got some grease in the tube from the last time I used it. And yeah. All right. Any questions, guys? Anything you want to know? Anything you want to see? Any other suggestions on other things that could be a problem in case it keeps smoking and burning oil after I do the oil change? Oh, one comment I can make. Oh, higher burn spark plug, huh, Richard? I think it's got a pretty good one in it right now. It's got a Champion. These little contraptions, I don't care about this piece, but these pins, I wanted these pins. And this was the only way I could get these pins. When I remount the mower deck, I am not using nuts and bolts. I am using these pins with cotter keys for quick disconnect. I had to buy this guy so I can tow my trailer. This is the one that I already had. It fits the tractor. It's too big for the trailer. So, and yes, I use anti-seize on my nuts and bolts and such so that I can get them back off later. And I'm a good boy. I use air tool oil in my air tools. Completely unrelated to the tractor, but you know. since you guys are looking at my stuff here. Yep, Tintin. The spark plug is brand new, so I'm not too worried about that. I did take it out. I took the plug out and just held it against the side of the motor here while turning the key, turning it over, and she had beautiful spark. Nice, bright, perfect frequency, no misses. After I put this new end on this coil wire, because this end was all screwed up. And that's why when I took it off the spark plug, it broke. And I went to my local small engine place and I just got a new end for it and put it on. But yeah, that's a fairly new Champion spark plug that's in there. I mean, you can see how clean this tip is. That's pretty doggone new. This part looks dirty, but that's because this whole engine is dirty, and it's just gross. I have not had the carburetor apart yet. So, and it is just a gravity feed from the tank down to the carb. Well, I hope so. If I continue to have problems, I will be asking for advice. Oh yeah, check this out. I have no idea why this is here. I have no idea why this is here. It's a zip tie, a pretty heavy duty one. And it's just hanging out inside my hood, inside my front cowling. No idea why that's there. I'll be taking that out today. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out and chatting with me. Me and this thing are going to get busy and change that oil. I will be on Discord later this evening, letting everybody know what I have found. And yeah, maybe I'll also post a short of it running without all the nasty smoke, assuming that I actually get it working. I have a manual. So that's a good thing. I paid $20 online for a reproduction manual for it. It is in the house, I believe. Yes, it's in the house because I have a nice roof leak over here in this corner of the shed that I have to fix. I didn't want any paperwork left out here. But yeah, I definitely wanted a manual, and I'm glad that I found one. So, all right, well, you guys have a good one. Thanks. Got to have the old Marine Corps boonie hat. Not a bucket hat. I smack anyone who calls this a bucket hat. A bucket hat's brim is only about a third this wide. This is a boonie hat. Learn your terms, people. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. If I can remember how to stop the stupid thing. Okay, I don't remember. Duh, right there.